Okay, so we're now on 6 o'clock, so I'm going to start. So good evening, everybody. Hi, for those of you who have just joined. Hello, I'm Katie Crook. I'm Vice Principal over at Penistone Grammar School, and I want to welcome you this evening to our Parents and Carers meeting for our class of 2029. Thank you so much for taking the time this evening to join us. I really feel like one of those news presenters with how I'm sat this evening, so I always feel like I'm on the news at 10. So hello, everybody. Thank you ever so much for joining. This is a parents and carers meeting, so it is for parents and carers. I'm sure we'll have children, students in the background. That's absolutely fine, but the audience this evening is for parents and carers, so just bear that in mind. But hello to any students we've got. Okay, so transition. Wow, I cannot believe we are here already. I remember sat here just a few months ago talking about the transition programme, and it's been and gone. And firstly, I just want to congratulate your lovely, wonderful children on such a successful transition. Honestly, they have absolutely wowed us over at Penistone. We could not be prouder of the fabulous start that they've already made. They've really left a huge impact and footprint on our hearts because they've really absolutely shone through this process. So thank you so much. They are absolutely wonderful. They've done really, really well. So we've, of course, had the boot camp, the transition days. We've been to primary schools. We've sent our presentation far and wide to those students who are joining us, perhaps on their own as an individual or perhaps from a smaller feeder school. We have by now allocated our key professionals to students who need that extra support. For example, any students with additional needs, special educational needs, then you have got your allocated key worker. We have done lots of presentations, our mentor groups and houses have all been allocated, and you have been sent various communication, including the homeschool agreement, which has all been done. So really, really well done. So next steps then, we of course have our welcome day, our first day of high school on Wednesday, the 4th of September. And we'll do some further information collating nearer that time should we need to get any more information by inviting parents and carers in for meetings. Okay, so Penistone Grammar School, what's it all about? It's built on our core values, and it's pivotal that our parents and carers and our wider community really follow these core values, as well as our students and our staff. And what I mean by following these core values is that you buy into them and you, of course, support us in terms of your students following these core values and helping them understand what they mean and adopting them, of course, within their daily practice. By now, I'm sure you all know, aim high, being determined, being supported, being proud. And we have, as you can see, introduced our 5th core value, a slight change this year to something that we find really important at Penistone. Above everything else, we want our students to be kind. We want them to be kind to themselves. We want them to be kind within our community. And we want them, of course, to be kind to others. The core values, parents and carers, are really at the heart of everything that we do. It's not just us as staff that follow them. We really expect our students to buy into them at all times. So that's within our school community, of course, within our lessons, within our dining times, but also when they're out in the community, in our Tesco area, in the barn or the local market areas. We do expect them to be following these core values at all times. And we do, of course, reward these core values through participation and through buying into our school policy, which is a really positive one. A slight change for us in September, we are not enabling students to have their mobile phones out at any time. Now, we understand that students may need their mobile phones within their school bags or within their lockers for, emergencies or perhaps to ring you when they leave the school building. But in terms of being out in our school building, they are not allowed out. That's for the safeguarding of our students and, of course, our learning community. It's too much of a risk for students to have their phones out now. It does put them in danger, of course, of perhaps taking pictures or getting into trouble. There's, of course, that distraction as well if the phone's vibrating. So they are to be absolutely away at all times when they are in our building, please. We really emphasise student safety at Penistone. Thinking about that core value of being kind, we have a significant anti-bullying policy that we really follow, and we talk to our students at length about when they join us through the transition days, but also in September as well. Now, bullying, the definition of bullying is the repeated, ongoing pattern and trend that develops when students are unfortunately repeatedly and intentionally hurting or causing harm or mental distress to another. Perhaps a falling out or one-off occasion. Sometimes younger students in particular do think that's bullying. Of course, it's not. It's a friendship issue, which we will absolutely still act upon. But it's very different when it comes to bullying and that intentional act. And we are absolutely against bullying. We celebrate diversity at Penistone. We don't tolerate any kind of discrimination, prejudice, or racism. So it's imperative, parents and carers, that you really fully buy into this and absolutely express that to your students. And it would really support us if, when you get your students' planner at home with you, if you can sign our anti-bullying pledge. That's for the student, for the parent and carer, so for you to sign, and the class mentor as well. So it shows that we're all really bought into that. And of course, there are significant consequences if we do find out that any student is being bullied or is, of course, being the bully. And on with that, it's really important that students and you as parents and carers feel empowered to report anything to us. I'm going to go through the various different ways very shortly in terms of how you can report things, but please do not hesitate to get in touch with us if, of course, there's anything that's on your mind or anything that's not sitting quite right, a worry or a concern about your student. So in terms of safeguarding, in that same light as anti-bullying, I'm the safeguarding lead, the designated safeguarding lead over at Penistone. Safeguarding, of course, relates to any kind of child protection issue, any kind of neglect, physical harm, or anything, again, that you might just have a feeling about. Please don't hesitate to get in touch. You can do this via our website. There's a whole section dedicated to it. There's a section on there for students. Of course, parents and carers can fill that in as well. Please give me as much information as possible about anything you're worried about, or just pick up the phone, contact our school and ask for the safeguarding lead, and I will absolutely get back to you ASAP with that one. Okay, so your student's planner, their passport to success. The planner's pivotal. It contains a plethora of information in there, everything that you could possibly want, or your children could, of course, want to help them throughout their different subjects. And it's that reminder, really, of the successes that we will celebrate with them in terms of merits. It acts as a method of communication between home and mentor, or any notes that you need to pop in there. It gives students an opportunity to write in any home learning. Although I must stress, parents and carers, most of our home learning now is via Teams or Sparks Reader and Sparks Maths, which is all online based in the cloud. So don't worry too much, but it is a great opportunity for students to write in any perhaps food ingredients they have, or a reminder of some home learning that's due in. But the key thing as well with the planner is that it has a dedicated section for merits. And it's where we can see how many merits they've, of course, collated over the course of the week. And their mentor will then input them into what we call our Bromcom system, which parents and carers can get an app for. And you can see in real time how many merits, of course, your children are receiving, which is really positive. In terms of those merits, of course, the other side of that coin is that we do have a consequence system, which we refer to, of course, as our values-driven expectations, our VDE system. So in terms of that Bromcom parent app that I've just spoke about, on there you will also be able to see, as well as the positive and all the merits, you'll also be able to see how many lines your student, your child, has unfortunately received, whether that's in the week, a day, or over the course of a term, or hopefully not at all. So in terms of lines will be issued for students making the incorrect choice and doing this quite regularly. So the V1 is what we will call our warning. So students will have a warning, and this will follow after a reminder of expectations. So there's a chance there for a child to make a different choice, perhaps if they're chatting to the friend, or perhaps if they're not making the right choice, perhaps if they've not got the full amount of right equipment, for example. They'll then be issued what we call this V1, which is a warning, which is, of course, a line. They'll then have a second line, which is their second warning, V2. They can then get to 3 lines, which is their third and final warning, which, of course, then leads to a consequence, and the child will be departmentally parked. If your child gets 6 lines in a week, and all of the reasons for different lines are in our planner, they're available online as well. If they get 6 of those in a week, they'll go to our supporting expectations area. Please do not worry, it's not a choky. We don't have Mrs. Trunchbull up there or anything like that. It's ultimately a supporting expectations space where students have a chance to reflect on perhaps the choices they've made. They've got some behaviour specialists in that area, and they will help your children to reset and go again. And also it's a supportive space where they'll be given the tools they need to obviously then go on and succeed. We also have a reporting system where students can go and report to their mentors, to SLT, and to different colleagues as well to help them make better choices. But ultimately, of course, we want to focus on the positive. We want to focus on our rewards. I do have to be open and honest with you about, of course, the consequences. We are a learning community. We're all in this together. So I want to talk about that. But predominantly what I want us to focus on is how your children can, of course, achieve merits. And that is all really clear in the planner. Attendance will give us points and merits, going above and beyond in terms of, exceeding effort, exceptional effort. We'll glean those rewards and those merits. Teachers and tutors recognising students demonstrating our core values will also glean their merits. And ultimately, there are lots of prizes up for grabs. So we have lots of celebratory awards. We go to Alton Towers, we go to York Shopping, we go ice skating. We have termly prizes, we have party hampers in mentor groups. And from September, we're introducing a reward system where each student who has at least 100 merits and so on and so forth will go into a prize draw. They can win AirPods, they can win a Nintendo Switch, and the top prize is a brand new, I think it's a 48 or maybe 50-inch TV. And parents and carers, if your student is the lucky winner of that prize, will be invited in, and they'll have a head teacher's afternoon coffee and tea and a cake and a picture for our newsletter. So really positive. We are, a school that absolutely recognises success, and we want to cultivate that. So we recognise that via our reward system. Uniform. We're one community, we're one Penistone Grammar School, which is why we have, of course, a uniform. It's quite a simple one. Black trousers. If you want to wear black dress shorts, absolutely fine. Boys and girls, brilliant. If you want to wear a skirt, absolutely fine, but it does have to be a PGS school skirt, logo skirt, which is here on the image. A white shirt, please. House tie. So you've all been given your mentor groups now in house ties. A blazer. There's a feminine fit or a more masculine fit, whichever is most comfortable for you. It's absolutely fine. And of course, there is the optional house jumper. I believe your ties will be ready to pick up from the middle of next week from Vortex. So yeah, please do go and collect your ties. We've got the new colours in there as we've introduced a couple of new houses as well, which is really exciting. So please feel free to give us a call or Vortex about any issues you have with uniform. And just in terms of shoes as well, again, there's a full piece on this in terms of your booklet that you're having on the website. We've had quite a few queries about ballet pumps. They're absolutely fine. And plain black shoes, please, not the ones with any ticks on, no trainer pumps. Plain black school shoes are absolutely fine. In terms of transport, there's a plethora of information on the website in terms of school buses, the Zoom under 16 travel pass as well. So please do get in touch with those companies if of course you want any further information on school transport. Walking to school, brilliant, encourage that. And we have bike sheds for any students who want to be fit and healthy, and of course bike to school. Okay, so in terms of locker keys, if you pay a £5 parent pay deposit, so that's on your parent pay account by the end of summer, your child will be issued with a locker key. They will keep that locker key all the way through, and then if they hand us that locker key back to us when they leave us, or of course go on to our post 16 in year 11, year 12, 13, we will give them their £5 deposit back. Again, lunches, visits, you can pay for all of those via parent pay. Any medication, this is quite an important one for students with any medical issues. There are lots of forms available at reception and on of course on your homeschool agreement that you filled in. But it's really important, if there is a really specific medical issue, you must get in touch with our medical first aid officer. Miss Briscoe. If she hasn't been in touch already, she will absolutely be in touch with you in September with other key colleagues who will complete a risk assessment. So please do highlight that. Music lessons as well. We had a couple of questions about music lessons last session. You can sign up for these in September via Teams. So if your child currently plays an instrument or wants to, then please do make sure they're signed up for that. All students will learn one musical instrument from year 7 to year 9 with us at Penistone as statutory standard. But if they want to, of course, go that extra mile, then please do ensure they're signed up for those lessons. Okay, the transition takeoff booklet. So your children have all had lengthy talks about this in order to complete it and what they need to do. If they manage to complete each one during the months of September and October, their mentors will give them a merit. And as you can see there, any lines received will deduct 1 merit from the takeoff merit total. They have to have 70 merits. If they get the 70 merits from the transition takeoff booklet, well, they will be invited to our reward event, which will be in October time. It's still a top secret. It's still a big surprise, but it will be worth students participating. So please do support them with this. And of course, get in touch if you have any queries or worries about that one. Okay, so next steps for you, uniform, PE kit, school equipment. Follow us not on Twitter anymore. It's not X, it's our Facebook. We do have a Facebook page, so please do join us, of course, on our Facebook community. You can see everything that's going off on there. Please see the website as well. There's a plethora of pictures, and you can have access to our newsletter through there. Okay, so that's everything from me. Do you have any questions? And what I'm going to ask you to do, if you do, is type into the chat function, and I'm going to have a view on there. If you've got any questions, please do fire away, and I'll be pleased to answer them for you. Any questions? If you just want to type them into the chat function, see it in the right, or raise your hand and type it in. Any questions? Do PE trainers need to be black? No, absolutely not. Any trainers are fine as long as they're comfortable. The PE kit's all available online, and it's in your booklet as well. If you go onto our website, there's images on there, and it's all available in the planner as well. They don't need all of the, you'll see the difference between all of the branded kits. It's absolutely fine just to get the basic kits. That's absolutely fine, yeah. No, they won't need PE kit on the first day. Don't worry about that. Yes, house ties are available. Yep, as far as we're aware, they'll be ready from next week. Yeah, so you're right. We have gone back to we've gone to the old logo, which symbolises the Clarrell family who donated the original land to Penistone Grammar School. So we really wanted to recognise our heritage and culture. So that's why we've gone back to the old logo. We will gradually phase that out. Yeah. So can plain black leather trainers be worn? So they have to be plain school shoes, as long as they don't have any markings or anything like that on, like Nike ticks or anything. They're absolutely fine. Yes, absolutely. Hopefully they will keep the same mentor all the way through. Predominantly homework, home learning will be set on Teams. There may be booklets, etc., sometimes sent out. Predominantly, we do like to keep it usually on those Sparks Reader, Sparks Maths, particularly with our core subjects. Yep, they're absolutely fine. Ankle boots are fine. Yep. Hi, I've ordered a tie via parent pay to be collected at school. That's absolutely fine. Yep, if you've already ordered that and collected it at school, brilliant. We can help with that. What happens if they lose their blazer? Well, what I would suggest, we have to do this with our little boy, make sure their names are really clearly in there somewhere. It'll go to lost property and we'll get it back to you, or of course your child, and we'll try and support to find that again. In terms of shorts, generally, yeah, September, all the way through. If it's particularly warm, of course, that's absolutely fine. We have students that do wear them though all the way through. Which lessons will the children mix from their mentor class? So it's really dependent on which classes they're in. We don't look at setting at this point only in maths, so they'll be with a range of different children and students. Are the homework graded? Yep, they all get marked. Everything gets marked, home learning. Okay, so the Bromcom Parent app, there'll be communication goes out about that if it hasn't done already. It's Bromcom. The app is called Bromcom Parents. It's called My Child at School at Bromcom. If you type in Bromcom Parents on your app store, it brings it up, My Child at School. So you should already know which mentor group you're in. That information has been sent out to you. So if you haven't already, then please do let us know. Your details have already gone out for parent pay. If they lose their locker key, unfortunately, we'd give them, we'd obviously let them get in there, but we would have to, ask them if they get another locker key if they lose it. What I'd recommend is that they get a big chunky key ring to pop in the blazer pocket so they don't lose it. Yeah, in terms of black cycling shorts, no, we don't allow black cycling shorts. It is the looser fitting ones. There's some examples on our website and in the planner as well. In terms of the transition takeoff booklets, some of it will be completed later on because they'll have had to do certain activities in September and October. So as long as it's completed in October, that will be fantastic. Thank you. I think I've answered most of those. I think Mrs. Davis is on here as well. She'll be typing if there are any that I've missed. School jumper, yeah, the school jumper is optional. That's absolutely fine. School jumper's optional. We spoke to our students and they wanted a school jumper for in the colder months, which is absolutely fine. Is the mentor group the class they will be in? No, they won't be in the same mentor group. They may be with some of the same people. The mentor group is the first thing as students come into our school, they have that first slot where we complete personal development activities, where we check in, we get ready for the day, we do our equipment checks, we get prepared, and then they go off into their different classes. So there'll be those 5 periods every day with a variety of different students. Do you separate mentor groups by ability? No, absolutely not. We don't separate mentor groups by ability. We try and put students, we make sure they're with at least one of their friends. Yeah, absolutely. They can wear plain, like a vest or a t-shirt under their shirt if they're cold. That's no problem. So can they wear non-school jumper as long as it's black? No, it does have to be a branded school jumper if they're wearing a jumper. You can collect the ties if you've ordered them to collect in school. They'll be delivered to school. If not, they'll be at Vortex. If we need a toilet pass, we can support your child with that. Not a problem. If you let us know about that via email, or if you speak to Mrs. Wilson in September, our student support officer, we can arrange that for you. Yep, happy for an air tag if you've got the facility to do that. That's absolutely fine. Kerry missed your answer about completing the booklet. So they have to have completed the booklet by October, but we'll give them lots of messages about that nearer the time. How we've been working with SCI and they've suggested specific support. Okay, so Victoria, our Senko or a member of the Senko and assistant Senko will be in touch with you to arrange that and what that looks like for you in terms of social communication interaction teams. They'll also get in touch with us, I would imagine. Mrs. Davis, there's a question on there in terms of IDs. I'm wondering if you can perhaps look into that one and get back to that parent if it's a personalised number or anything we're wanting, or if there's something generic. Do you have lots of reports of bullying and how do you handle it? No, we don't. We're very lucky. We don't have lots of bullying. We do absolutely, our students do report it. They're very good at calling it out. We like to take a preventative approach. So we do lots of assemblies. We invite people in, external speakers regarding that. And of course, we support students. If it is happening, we take it very seriously. There are hefty consequences, of course, for bullies, but we also like to look at the education around perhaps why some students feel in the need to do that, but we do not have a lot of bullying at all. Will the classes change throughout the year? Very rarely, Amanda, but Amanda, is it there? Yeah, Amanda, but if of course there's any issues, we do look at that and we like to tweak them dependent on that personalisation and what's required in order for students to succeed. You're very welcome. Yes, well, thank you. It's no problem at all. It's a pleasure. We're always here. Yes, we do. We have different areas in school that have breakfast clubs. Again, get in touch with us if that's something that you'd like to look at. We can absolutely support you and your child in terms of breakfast. Most important meal of the day. Questions? No problem. I think that's it. All the questions answered now. In terms of, oh yeah, there's a few here. So sorry, what date does year 7 start? So you start on the Wednesday, that's the 4th of September. And there's one about enrichment. So that's all on the website in terms of after school clubs and days of the week as well. Do you have Mr. Childs for guitar lessons? I don't know who the member of staff is. Then the name does ring a bell though. I can find out. We have definitely got a guitar teacher though. After school clubs are all available online. No problem. Thank you. Okay, everybody. Well, thank you ever so much for your time. Again, if you do have any questions or queries, look at the website. But if there's anything that is worrying you, then please just get in touch in the meantime. I'm happy to support. You're very welcome. Thank you. Okay, so we look forward to seeing you all in September. Take care, everybody. Thank you. Bye.